Here we are, January 30th, 2022. It is cold. You can see all these little viney ground cover plants are all kind of dead looking. They froze. A lot of freezing going on. Oh, there's some fungus growing right under there. Look at that, another one of those orange things. And that's growing on. Yeah, a piece of palm again. Anyways, yeah, it got really, really cold last night. It is still really, really cold right now. That is my Asper. I covered that, or tried to, with the blue tarp over there, but it blew off, and it looks really shriveled this morning. Really crinkled. Not well. Okay, over here. Now this is another one of my Aspers. And I put a moving blanket over part of this last night because it's January, but this thing put out a new shoot a couple weeks ago. And it's already over 3 feet tall. Wow, it feels really cold. So I covered that. Hopefully that's going to make it. And the rest of this looks pretty curled up. They do not look happy. It's warm here right now, standing in the sun. And with the, little bit of shelter that these pepper trees provide, it may have saved that one. Some of these leaves don't, well, a lot of these leaves were under the blanket, so they look pretty good. Some of those don't look too bad. Actually, there's a couple up there that don't look too bad, and up there's one that looks pretty good. But yeah, a lot of them are kind of shrivelly. We'll see. Maybe we'll come back. This is the coldest these plants have ever gone through. At least outside. We had some cold, 2018, when these were just being started. They were little tiny seedlings. But this is the first open exposure to freezing that they've experienced. So, yeah, I got my hoodie on, my flannel, or my fleece jacket, so it's not too bad standing here. Peanut, come here, get out of there. What are you doing in there? She gets in there and she disappears. Get over here. I had to go crawling in there one day looking for her. And right over here I found a couple barrels. I found this barrel and another barrel. They're kind of old and kind of dirty. Let's say Pro Plus. I got a couple new water barrels, plastic. Where did she go? Alright, there she is. She's just standing right there. Get in there. Get over there. Yeah, I got to take all these ragweeds out. I took them all down over there. Alright, well, I took them down and then they started growing back, so I've been digging up the roots. And got all this area cleared here. See, there's one right there. You got any little piece of root in there, you got to get that out, or that's going to grow back. That got it. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is that I've been watching a lot of these forest and soil videos, and I was over here digging up these ragweeds. You can see there's some big old roots here in the ragweed. But where I was digging them up, I also noticed there among the roots there was moss in there. See, there's a chunk of moss right there. So that moss I don't want to actually get rid of, like the ragweed. There's another one starting right there. Get that out of there. But see, there's moss right there too. So I don't want to get rid of that moss. So I don't want to slash and burn all that moss off. I want to kind of save and propagate that moss. There's actually quite a bit of it around here for not having much cover. Not really shady or foresty or anything like that. But, you know, and that moss is kind of hard to come by in Florida because it's either moss or, you know, a little bit of leaf or sand. Very little moss, actually. It's usually all sand like this. Whoa, all these guys took a pretty good shot here, too. They're all looking pretty curly. I might have lost some plants here. All this viney ground cover that I want to get rid of. Took a pretty good hit, too, though. Let's go check out the mushrooms. So, yeah, the last couple of days when it's been cold, I haven't had too many, oh, I don't have any. No oyster mushrooms on there today. I'm going to have to wet those down a little bit too. They're all this dry, cold air has really been drying them out. So yeah, those are down to like nothing on there. There's a little stuff starting there. I have to wet those down. Whoa, here's the lion's mane. They look pretty moist in there. I'm not even going to uncover them. Got a little bit of warming action going on in there with the sun hitting that. Yeah, they could use a little water too, but at least they're covered and it's steamy in there. It's a little higher humidity than it would be if it was, you know, uncovered. And there's the blue oyster log. I did get a couple pretty decent sized oysters off there. Yeah, that thing's pretty dried up. We got to get that another shot. Well, let's go check the black pearl. Alright, well there's my vanilla orchid. They look like they made it. I covered up the bottoms under here with a cardboard box. Get that off of there. This orchid's kind of stuck to the table. We couldn't move that one. It's got like 3 branches growing on it for flowers. And it looks like they're going to make it. And put this ladder up here with a towel on it. There's a little bit of brown spots on there, but I don't know if that's from the cold. I don't know, they're pretty tough actually. Get in here and look at these. Alright, let's see. Here's the triple, the 3-piece one. Ooh yeah, look at this stuff down here. Oh, it's turning a little bit of goldish color. There's a lot of growth around those cracks, and this thing's completely fused together. I mean, I can pick it up. And that weighs about 10 or 12 pounds. It's a heavy, wet log, but it's, you know, fused right together. Ooh, look it up in there. So, yeah, looking pretty good. And this other one that I tore apart by accident is fused back together now, too. So, whoop, no, it's not. Okay, I lied. I thought it was stuck the other day, but it's still pretty loose. Get a little bit of water on that. Yes, my pepper plants. I moved them all under this umbrella and put a couple of layers of plastic over there to shield them from the wind and frost. But it looks like they took a pretty good shot there. That there's a tomato plant right there that looks pretty burned up. Got a few leaves on this one back here that look pretty good, but everything else is probably going to lose quite a few of these plants. My one good plant, though, that I had, actually I see a pepper right there. My one good plant that I had, I put it on the patio, so I'm gonna have one survivor that didn't get totally frosted. That one over there, all of these have been eaten by ants pretty good anyways, so I'd just make them a little tougher maybe. Here's my one good plant. Actually, all these blossoms are still on there, so it got pretty cold out here on the patio, maybe about 45 degrees, but the tomato plant's looking good. Got kind of purple stems on there. I had to move my moringas in. Man, I left my microgreens out all night, and they said 30 degrees this morning, but it looks like they made it. They're pretty tough. I think microgreens would be pretty soft and fragile. Ooh, they need a little bit of water there too. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. Also moved mama shrimp in here. I haven't seen her this morning. I had the heat going in there for a little while because it got down to about 45 in there. Haven't seen her yet, but I think she's okay. The goldfish, they got a 200-watt heater in their barrel last night, so they're probably like 65, 70 degrees in there right now. And then they got a little 30 or 40-watt heater running in there now. Oh, I got these cheap valves on eBay, so I could regulate and get bubbles flowing everywhere, and control my air a little bit better. Unfortunately, these really cheap $10 for 100 of them, they leak. You got to pack some Vaseline in there to get those things to stop leaking. You're going to lose like half of your air. They leak more air than they let through. Here's our big 200-watt heater. Get that in this fish barrel here. These guys had the 40-watt heater in all night, so they're doing fine. So that's it. Dog's warming up in the sun. Oh, my macadamia nut tree right there is doing pretty good. Doesn't look like it got hurt, but we'll see. It might take it a while to show.